So in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Friday the 13th the Game DLC Petition. Let's get started. So if you haven't heard by now, there's a petition floating around for Gun Media to release the DLC for Friday the 13th the Game. Now, I'm going to talk about this petition for a little bit because I'm not here to discourage you or talk shit about anybody who wants the DLC. However, I think there's some things you all need to know. Number one, online petitions rarely do anything because when you do any type of petition, you have to prove who signed the petition. Meaning, for it to hold up, you have to have a social security number, driver's license, etc. alongside the name. Otherwise, they'll just look at it like one person or 10 people just sitting there consistently making fake names, and it does nothing. Number two, a petition in this circumstance, again, will do absolutely nothing in terms of the lawsuit. It will not affect the lawsuit. It will not change the lawsuit in any way, shape, or form. With all that said, people who purchased the game outright outside of Kickstarter were never promised any type of DLC in order to buy the game. You bought the game to receive the game. You got the game. You were able to play the game. You're still able to play the game. There is nothing illegal going on in terms on your end. There is no pain or suffering or distress or anything like that because at no point did Gun Media or Ilphonic ever say that, yes, if you buy this game now, we will give you DLC in the future. That was never said. There was ideas for DLC, but due to unseen circumstances, which is what this would fall under, a lawsuit prevented that. Now, let's talk about a petition that might actually work in a sense. If you had the people who actually went out and purchased this DLC through Kickstarter, who were promised things such as the Uber Jason or Grendel map in the Kickstarter, then yes, those people have a legit claim because they purchased through the Kickstarter expecting specific DLC. However, you would not get that said DLC. What would end up happening is you would need to go to court and fight for it. Yes, that's right, you would need to perform a class action lawsuit. And even then, again, you will not get the DLC. You would get a refund or a slight refund. And that's it. Those are the only people who have a legitimate claim towards this. And even then, they would have to file a lawsuit in order to get some money back. And that's it. That's all there is to it. No complaining, kicking, or screaming, or petitions, or anything along those lines will ever get you the DLC or ever end this lawsuit early. As I said over a year ago, this lawsuit is not going to end anytime soon. You probably won't see it end for 3 to 5 years from the time it started. And I said this over a year ago, which is also why you're not going to see updates on a lawsuit every week or every other day. That's not how lawsuits work. And I tried to explain how this lawsuit would have worked a year ago. All right? It's not how it works. This isn't some fancy movie where there's updates all the time.
I'm holding you in contempt of court.
Oh, there's a surprise.
Because lawsuits that you see in movies or TV shows may actually expand from months to years, but they're trimmed down into 15 minutes for your entertainment purposes. Because who the hell wants to sit there for days watching some shit in a movie about a lawsuit? Nobody, right? So don't look at the terms of a movie or TV show and think that's how a lawsuit works, because it's not. A lawsuit like this, when it comes to copyrights, where neither side wants to give up their copyrights, or more than likely it's going to come down to who dies first. Let's get real, because Horror Inc.'s going to never want to give up those said copyrights. And Victor Miller has every right to them, and I explained why in a video many months ago. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and click that link right there. So again, it's just going to come down to the terms of who has the most money in the end, or who dies first. And you have to remember, this lawsuit isn't just about Part 1, Friday the 13th. You have to remember this. A lot of people aren't talking about this because for some reason they don't want to recollect this or nobody's informing them for some reason. But this copyright also has to do with the name, Jason Voorhees. It's not just Part 1, Friday the 13th. He came up with the name Jason Voorhees in the original script, which means every single Friday the 13th movie, game, show, whatever, which the majority are owned by Horror Inc., they would have to give some type of royalty to Victor Miller for every sale that happens anywhere along the lines of those said properties that they own the rights to. Because again, Victor Miller, or whoever wins this lawsuit, will own the rights not just to Friday the 13th Part 1, but the names, such as Jason Voorhees. You all seem to forget about this very quickly. That's what the big deal is. That's what the fight is over. And that is why it is not going to end anytime soon. So with all that said, I want your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Are you excited that there's a petition even though it's not going to do anything? Does it give you a little bit more hope even though, again, it will do absolutely nothing? And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification box. If you don't, you will be notified of kick-ass shit such as this. And be sure to give this video a big thumbs up because one of your likes on this video will get you another Friday the 13th Game video on this channel. And don't forget about the Slasher Club at theslasherclub.com, where you can actually access behind the scenes, skits, and even some episodes 1 week early. And don't forget to join us at Discord because that's where I'm going to kick ass time in there. And don't forget, merch link down in the description below. Eat, sleep, slash, repeat the 4 essentials for any horror fan. And as always, I'll see you next time.